Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we're back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Friday, August 1st. I'm still on the Cape. I'm leaving in a few hours, and my Wi-Fi has been the worst it's ever been. But we're here, we're ready, and I am just hoping to everything that I could possibly hope to that I can get this done. And then we'll be back to normal pods for the month of August. How you doing, Sam?
Doing good. Feeling for you. Somebody who has dealt with the worst of the worst Wi-Fi wise, I understand what you're going through. I understand the frustration. Earlier, Jack and I, we recorded what you saw yesterday, and that was fine. And then we tried to do this, and it like crapped on. It was rainy. It was stormy on the Cape, and it didn't work for him. And he like raged out, not on me, on the Wi-Fi, and just completely relatable. But we do have a fun show on the way for you guys today. We are gonna, cover a certain individual, talk about what we expect this season, what we think's gonna happen. I mean, you guys already know who it is. You guys clicked on the video, so Jordan Walsh topic is the one. But before we get started, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment. We are here every single day, so hit the bell because you don't want to miss any of our content. We're putting out full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, game recaps morning after each game during the season, and other videos in between like these, or not like these, like the one yesterday, to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. But yes, Jordan Walsh, sitting here thinking about him ahead of the season after a nice summer league.
Indeed. Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh, good summer league this season, bad summer league last season, which led into a questionable year. Seems unfair, but he got usurped by Baylor Shireman for minutes by the end of the season. It was very clear that the Celtics were prioritizing Shireman's development over Walsh. He hasn't really gotten consistent minutes in the NBA in his 2 years here, and that's normal, right? Like it happens when you're playing for a contending team. Could get a lot of minutes this year, and that's why we're talking about him. But that's sort of like the whole thing. Like, what does he become? I know he talked to Noah Dalzell at Summer League, and she was asking everybody, like, who's your player comp? Like, who do you look up to? Who are you trying to mold your game after? He mentioned Jaden McDaniels. That makes sense. Walsh is a bit more of a wing than a forward like McDaniels, but you can see why he would want to model his game after that type of players, and all defensive guy, solid 3-point shooter. And the question is, how will Walsh do this year? He's probably going to get more opportunities at the NBA level than he ever has before. And past this year, I would need to double check. I don't think his contract is guaranteed. So they could technically walk away after this year if they wanted. So it kind of comes down to right now if you're Jordan Walsh.
Yeah, and listen, he has the frame similar to McDaniels. He might be a little shorter, has an impressive wingspan. Like, he is equipped to be a good 3-and-D player. He shot well from three in Summer League, probably as efficient and comfortable looking as we've ever seen him shoot it. If he's able to carry that over into the season, then there's a real chance that he can impress some people. Keith Smith did one of the just roundup articles from Summer League, one for each conference, on little like conversations he had for Spot Track with different executives and coaches from different teams. And with the Celtics, one of the topics was Jordan Walsh, and he was talking to an anonymous Celtics coach. And the coach was like, listen, Walsh is going to have opportunity this year. Like, the minutes are there for them if he's ready and he's willing to take the opportunity. And I think that speaks volumes about just what this season means for Jordan Walsh, who, you mentioned it, third-year player. This is do-or-die territory for somebody who hasn't really shown much in the regular season minutes he's earned so far. He's coming off an impressive summer league. He's probably feeling the best he's felt just in terms of confidence after that. He looked a little bit bigger at Summer League. You were there. Did he look like he put on any muscle or no? Because that's one of the things for me that I feel like if he's going to be a legitimate defender, he has to do.
I don't know if I noticed the muscle as much as I just noticed his ability and willingness to make quicker decisions. Like, it was very much, he's not like overthinking every move he makes. He's not trying to do too much. He's just taking what the game gives him. I think he had a quote about that as well. In terms of how he's tried to grow as a player. But in your eyes, what do you need to see Jordan Walsh do this year for you to feel good about his plays? Like, let's call a spade a spade. What does he have to do this year for you to say, give him another contract?
He has to make threes. It's the Celtics answer. You have to make threes. If you are not 7 feet tall or some incredible, just all-league defender that can give you so many other things on the court, you have to be able to shoot the ball. It's essential. So for him to be a rotation guy on the Celtics, to beat out somebody like Shireman for the minutes, because the competition, though they are not the same player, does seem to be between the two of them. It's you got to shoot down, you got to knock down threes. You have to be able to defend at a high level, which I think we've seen spurts of. I also think the defense might improve with the more minutes he gets. The instincts and the reads will come with actual playing time. Like that stuff can be difficult if you're just out there every once in a while in garbage time. Like I don't really know if we've seen his true potential as a defender. He's worked on the shot. We see them working on the shot with Jordan Walsh every game before the game, hours before tip-off. All the stay ready guys out there working on all of the situational, the catch and shoot off of screens, whatever it is to help them prepare for when their moment is in the game. He has to be able to capitalize. Like that is, in my opinion, number one. Shoot the ball, knock it down consistently, carry over the momentum from Summer League.
Yeah, and that's where some of the concern starts to drip in a little bit, right? Like Summer League this year shot 38.9%, good. Summer League before, 13%, not good. First Summer League ever, everyone was freaking out, shot 40.7% from three, good. Those are very small sample sizes. Every time you've put Jordan Walsh in a position where it is a large sample size of games, the threes haven't been great, right? Last year, 52 games, only 8 minutes a game, so it's tough on a night-to-night basis where you're not always playing. 27.3%. Rookie season only played 9 games. It's pretty irrelevant, 22%, but whatever. Go to the G League. This past year, he only played in 1 game, shot 50%, cool. But 1 game. 43 games, 23-24, his rookie season, 35.4% from three. That's probably his best sample size of three-point shooting we've seen, which is good because it happened in the G League rather than way in high school or whatever. At Arkansas, he shot 27.8% in 36 games. Not great. I don't think we have much past that. I don't know if we have high school stats here on Real GM. We do. We have 1 game of high school ball, so shot 0 of 2 from 3, so that's irrelevant. But like, you haven't really seen a large sample size of Jordan Walsh shooting threes super well. So that's sort of where some of the concerns come in. The form doesn't look terrible, but it's just they're not going in, right? And it's different. Like when we're talking about like Max Shulga, Baylor Shireman, right? Or Jalen Bridges, right? Who all shot relatively bad. Mostly Shulga and Shireman. For Jalen Bridges didn't shoot well either. I'm going somewhere like those guys didn't shoot well at Summer League. Bad. But you have a history of shooting 39% over an entire season, of 40% over an entire season at multiple levels of basketball. That's when you can be like, okay, maybe this is a fluke. When you start getting into your X amount of years of basketball at the high level and you're still not putting it together, that's when you need to say, okay, something needs to change now or it might never happen, right? Like look at Romeo Langford. Didn't really ever happen for him. I'm not saying they're the same player, but that's a guy who maybe, if he just develops a three-point shot, that's where it's going to come in. Aaron Nesmith didn't shoot well in Boston, but you had the sample size of college of, wow, this guy's still a three-point shooter. Look at him now, right? So that's where you start to get into the, like, will he or won't he of can Jordan Walsh shoot threes? And I don't know what the answer is, but I think it's a good point. And then as far as the defense, I mean, he came in tooled as this, like, really great defender. He like takes a lot of risks. He's not always, like you mentioned, like positioning and stuff needs to come maybe in the flow of the game. So that's something you need to really look out for. I think cutting and putting the ball on the floor and making a play is something that he can really carve out a little bit. I don't think that's like the best pathway for him to go down to make an impact. But if the shot's not falling, you need to be able to find other ways. So I don't know. I think the 3-point shot's going to be huge for him, but there are other avenues that I guess maybe you could look at.
Yeah, I mean, anything else he can add would be sick. I mean, just extra offensive abilities we didn't think he had in him would be really cool to see. It would definitely move the needle a little bit for Jordan Walsh and maybe make him a little bit more of a versatile scorer on offense. But I think for the time being, like the focus should just be able to catch and shoot threes, be ready for the opportunities, because without Jason Tatum this year, there's just simply going to be more time. He's going to have more opportunities. He's going to have a chance to prove himself. He's still only 21 years old. I know age only goes so far. Like, he still has 2 years of NBA experience. He's been around the team. He's been around the development staff. Like, guys have been literally hired and put out there to make him a better player. And yet we haven't seen a ton of development from Walsh just yet. I think this has to be like the most exciting season for him. Like, we have good reason to feel good about it. It's just, can he carry the momentum? Can he do good things? He was oftentimes, as he should have been as a third-time player, the best guy on the Celtics at Summer League. Not just in the situations where he would thrive in an NBA game, but like he was doing everything to score. He was getting to the basket. He looked comfortable. Like, that was the big win along with the increased 3-point shooting.
Definitely. Before we continue, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks. PrizePicks, the best place to get real money sports action this baseball season, this basketball season, whatever season it is. Make sure to check out PrizePicks and roll with it. PrizePicks, I've been using during the Red Sox because that's been my enjoyment this summer, even though their trade deadline was less than thrilling. But hey,
I mean, they got
Dustin
some
May,
pitching.
Dustin,
They got some.
They got a
How
guy
about them
who's
Red Sox podcast launched?
they got a guy who's 2-5 with a 5.6 ERA. So Dustin May, maybe he'll take the more on his strikeouts and go from there. But we'll see. During the season, Sam and I do the prize picks every single game, Celtics game. We pick the more or the less on at least 2 player props, and that's how you can win up to 2,000x your cash. Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, which is every Tuesday. Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Back to Jordan Walsh. We did this with Nimi. I'll ask you again now. What's the floor and the ceiling in your mind for Jordan Walsh this year? We can go floor to floor each and then ceiling to ceiling each, whatever order you decide to go in.
Floor is last year Jordan Walsh. Floor is Jordan Walsh hasn't improved. And like that might be a lame cop-out answer, but like I think it's just the truth. Like it is dire for him. He needs to show something. It's been the theme of this entire 11 minutes so far of the show, besides Jack's Wi-Fi, which, you know, respect, hat tip. You have to show some development. And the worst case scenario is that he doesn't. And it's just, oh, he looks lost out there still. He's not really comfortable on defense. He's not rotating well. He can't make threes. He's not ready in the spots that he actually gets the opportunity to put it up. He puts the ball on the floor. He's turning it over. He's driving into traffic without a plan. Like whatever the things that come along with being an inexperienced player, like if you were on 2K and you had Jordan Walsh's IQ or awareness stat and it was still really low, that stat needs to come up. Like that's the thing. I think that is like, aside from the legitimate skill of shooting threes, is the accompanying skill that needs to improve. So floor, Jordan Walsh, 2023 through 24, or 25, I should say.
I'm going to go with that, but I might take it a step further. I don't think he'll technically be any worse than he has been, but I do worry that in more minutes in an elevated role, what we've seen could look worse, if that makes sense, right? Because the Jordan Walsh we've seen for the past 2 years has been playing next to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for long stints, literally just standing off the ball doing nothing. You're going to have more opportunities. Okay, Jordan Walsh is going to put the ball on the floor. Is that going to be a turnover? Oh, Jordan Walsh has to guard the second best player on the other team. What's going to happen there? Is he going to get too antsy? Is he going to go for steals? Is he going to get caught in foul trouble? Right? Jordan Walsh is probably going to be guarded by better players now instead of the fourth best option. Are they going to close out better from 3? Is he going to hesitate? Is he going to get stuck driving? Right? I think the floor, the worst case scenario is we see Jordan Walsh putting up 6 points a game, 3, maybe less, like 4 or 5 points a game, 2 rebounds and shooting like 30-20, right? Like truly has not developed and is getting bothered by the additional pressure being put on him because he's in a situation not playing again alongside Jason Tatum. Drew Holiday's gone, Kristaps, Al Horford gone, all these guys who are, gravity, who were great, offensive players to help alleviate the pressure on him are gone, and he's going to have to depend on the still great lineup of D. White, Peyton Pritchard, Jaylen Brown. But there's going to be an elevated role for him that he's going to have to adapt to. So I think that's the worst case. The best case, Jordan Walsh looks great. The threes fall, gets probably around that 38% mark. I think that's the line for him. I think Taylor Shireman, you'd probably rather be around 40, but for Jordan Walsh, who has never really been that type of three-point shooter, 38 would be a really great step. I think the steals and the blocks you start to see around the 1-and-1 maybe if he's in a big enough role of 25 plus minutes a game, which I don't know if he'll get him. I feel like it might be closer to 20, but I think the threes fall. I think the defense is there. You can depend on him to guard. If we're talking like true ceiling, you can depend on him to guard the best player on the other team for stretches or stints of the game. I'm not saying you want him to do that in like the last minute. It's probably a Jaylen Brown or Derek White job, but throughout the course of a game, throw him on Steph Curry a couple possessions, right? Throw him on Shea. You can trust him to do without fouling. Like that's the ceiling. That's what you want for Jordan Walsh this season. Averaging 10 points, right? 4 rebounds, block a steal, right? That's the ceiling for Jordan Walsh, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this might be like a little bit of a...
This season, to clarify. This season.
This might be a little bit of a big reach, but like I would say like current watered down Andrew Wiggins. Like, if you can get like him to be a lengthy defender, that's not a reach. Yeah,
maybe outside of the shot creation. I don't think Jordan's gonna have that, but yes.
Yeah, but like just like the stability that an Andrew Wiggins type this stage of his career would provide for you would be an absolute dream for Jordan Walsh. Like that would absolutely get him a new contract with the Celtics, or at least like get him guaranteed for year 4, right? I just think like to get to the ceiling, he's going to have to take the experience this year, learn from it, become a better feel for the game guy, move without the ball well. Like Jordan Walsh is not an athlete. He can jump. If he does a good job of cutting backdoor and stuff, he can get some easy baskets on dunks. I would love to see some of that. That would make everything easier for the guys who are going to have more responsibility, like Jalen, like Derek, where they're seeing more defenders than they're used to. Maybe not Jalen. Jalen's used to seeing quite a bit of defense. But like Derek seeing like 2 guys on drives and things like that. Walsh helping those guys punish teams for overcommitting would be a huge plus for him.
Yeah. I don't know. Then the last thing, percentage, right? If you had to put a percentage on likely to reach the ceiling, likely to reach the floor, and then give me a number 1 to 100, 0 being the floor, 100 being the ceiling, where you think he'll actually land. I'll take both of those.
I think, truthfully, I would say percentage chance he hits a ceiling, 50%, 40%, somewhere in there.
You're high on Walsh going into this year.
Well, I'm like the highest I've ever been on him. Like
I see.
I'm not saying like Summer League you can't take everything from Summer League. You have to take Summer League with a grain of salt because, again, he was one of the more senior players at Summer League. Like players that have been around the NBA for a while typically play better at Summer League. But it's more about the opportunity he's going to have. And if he's going to have a jump, this is the year. If you are going to bet money on Jordan Walsh becoming a better player, this is the year. So with that being said, like, do I think he's going to hit the ceiling? I don't know. I think he should take a step forward or he's just dead. Like there's no career for him going forward if he doesn't. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards the 40% number. I think there's a chance. I think at the very least, like he's probably going to get 30% of the way between the ceiling and floor. Like I think he's going to take some step forward. It might be enough to keep him around. And that is ultimately what you should root for if you're the Celtics. Like, is he showing you something? Do you believe he can contribute when the team is back at full strength, when Tatum's back, and they need guys to come off the bench and be helpful or be spark plug guys? Like, honestly, like, do you think if he was O'Shea Brissett, that would help him this year? Or no? Like, when O'Shea was on this team, not current Tel Aviv O'Shea Brissett.
Like, if he played the role O'Shea played? I don't think so. Like, I think he needs to play Jordan. I think he needs to hit threes. Like, O'Shea wasn't dependent on to hit threes, right? He was almost exclusively cutting, and when he did take threes, it was not the prettiest. I don't know where I stand on Jordan Walsh. I feel like I am as in the middle as you can get in terms of floor to ceiling. I might lean closer to floor. Just I don't know, man. The threes worry me a lot. Like I don't know if they're ever going to get there. And I do think there are ways he can be effective without those falling, right? Like I think if he works on his ability as a cutter, I think if he put the ball on the floor at an effective rate, as long as he's not too chaotic, I do fear you could run into the Aaron Nesmith-esque, problem of him being crash on the offensive end where he just kind of drives, puts his head down, and gets a little bit too crazy. I would say like 40%, 40% ceiling, 60% floor. But if I had to pick a number where I think he'll end, I'd probably do like 49, right? Like I'm very close to, I don't really know what's going to happen, but if I had to lean a direction, I maybe like 45. I don't know. I just, the threes really worry me. And he's always like, I think the athleticism and the energy are benefits on the defensive end if harnessed correctly, but we haven't really seen him do that yet. And a big part of that could be opportunity. And I'd love to prove wrong. I think he's a very valuable, archetype of player. I just don't know, right? Like Henry is showing me a screen. What does it say? Rotation 3-and-D player, defensive stopper when needed. I mean, ideally, Henry's showing me his phone screen. I don't know. I just, for a 3-and-D player, there are a lot of questions about the threes and the D. Put it that way. And he's young, right? He's got a lot of time, but you do worry he could be going down.
We don't really know what he's good at yet. He hasn't shown us. He hasn't had the chance to show us. And what he's about there,
I mean,
like,
that's the other problem. You want to talk about like out of the draft, one of the terms we talked about all the time, NBA ready skill. What's Jordan Walsh's NBA ready skill right now? Right now.
Don't know.
Exactly. And 2 years in, it's probably not
His
a good
size.
thing not to know. His length, and this goes down to, remember when we watched the video and I do Thiero and all of the strengths were just nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like
Listen,
dudes I play
don't
Xbox
think-
with that are 6'7", like they also have the size, right?
I don't think it's fair to lump Jordan Walsh in with that type of player. I do think he is skilled. I do think he is, I think he uses his athleticism well when the time comes. I do think he's a lot better at putting the ball on the floor and making plays than he was a year ago. And so I think there's definitely going to be a place. I just really think he needs to harness that energy in the right way, and we'll see if he can do that. But
his jumper does look good.
yeah.
Like that's
looks
like one
smooth,
thing that separates him from like somebody like I don't know, take your pick, Thiero. Even, just say Thiero. Like Thiero's jumper doesn't look like that mechanically sound. Like Jordan Walsh's jump shot looks smooth, and I think it looked even
Amari
smoother
Williams'
in
jump
Summer
shot.
League.
There's an example. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I would love to see Jordan Walsh thrive. Okay, this is gonna be very backwards considering how low I have been on Kada. I think there is an easier pathway for him to reach his ceiling than Jordan Walsh, and I don't know if I think that might go against the percentages I gave. But the more I've thought about it, this is the way I think about it. Right, the way I just like comprehend everything was NBA ready skill. I think Nemish Kada, when he's on the floor, has NBA ready skills. I think his rebounding is an NBA ready skill. I think his shot blocking is an NBA ready skill. I think his screening could be an NBA ready skill. The problem is he just has issues with those NBA ready skills. I don't know what Jordan Walsh's NBA ready skill is. And I think that's where you can start to blur the lines of where is he going to, land on the totem pole. Like, I think if Nemish Kada can solely focus on setting good screens, finishing on in pick and roll, blocking shots, well, I don't know what that banging is, and rebounding the ball, fine, chilling. Like, you can simplify it. I don't know, like, I guess for Jordan Walsh, it is hit your threes and, be a really good perimeter defender. But I feel like that comes with a lot more room for error than Nemish Kada's NBA ready skills. And so that's where I'm like, that's where I think it's a little bit trickier for Walsh and it's going to be for Kada, and also I think Kada will have a much clearer path to opportunities, even though I think both will play a lot.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. I completely agree on Kada. Like, there are just things that you can look at, like the things you mentioned, like you can look at those and be like, okay, like he can be a low usage guy and maybe it'll work. If they just lean into the things he's good at, just like somebody like Luke Cornett, like 2 years ago, you could do a pod and be like, what does he even do? And then you could actually look and be like, okay, he does these things. And if Boston leans into them, then he can become a real rotation guy. And that's exactly what they did. And he got paid $10 million a season by the Spurs because of it. Nemi, they could do that with. Jordan Walsh, we just don't know yet. And he's young. There's plenty of time. Well, kind of plenty of time. Age-wise, there's a lot of time. Celtics-wise, probably not that much time. Probably one season's worth of time. If he does it, he does it. And they can lean into him being good at things. But he hasn't really gotten a chance to prove he has a good feel for defense in the NBA yet. And he hasn't shown that he has a good shot yet. This is the time.
It's got to be now. Absolutely, it's got to be now. That's all I got on Jordan Walsh. Anything else you want to discuss? This might be a shorter pod today just because I am probably leaving soon and got places to be on Saturday. But do you want to do NBA or Rat List or anything, or do you want to just get out of here? Do you have any Rat Lists?
RJ sent an email, so we should do the emails.
We can do an email
because I've been begging people to send us emails, and then if we did a pod without doing emails, it'd be pretty fucking stupid, to be honest.
Yeah, we can do emails, then get on out of here. Reminder as always, you guys can email us at hptcpod@gmail.com. What's up? My mom said she likes the Rat List, so we can do the Rat List too.
Excellent.
hptcpod@gmail.com, hptcpod@gmail.com. Let me re-sign in quick because it signed me out, but I think I remember the password now. Just give me 1 second.
You want me to pull it up? I can read it off my phone.
I got it. Oh, maybe I don't got it. Let's see. Hold up 1 second.
I'm moving towards
filibustering. Okay, I got it. It says check your phone, and then I'll be good. It might be check your phone.
What's your?
Okay. Again, hbtcpod@gmail.com. You can email us there. We have, I think, a couple, if I remember correctly. But we can do them quick. And then jump on out. Oh yeah, we have 3. Perfect. Isaac, first email says, heard the Jazz waived a current former Celtic. Did you do this one already, or did you?
I did this one. Bobby and I
Okay.
talked about it briefly. Pelicans signed him. Shout out to the Pelicans.
Shout out the
I
Pelicans.
will say, when I wrote up Jaden Springer today for Harvey Houdini, I did like Twitter search it, and apparently like one of those, I don't know which app it is, but like some app like had transactions up, and it was like showing him going back to the Celtics, and people were like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And I was like, "Damn, we could have had a lot of fun."
Is it an Exhibit 10 deal, or is he on a standard contract?
I think Michael Scotto said Exhibit 9, so just training camp.
Got it. That makes sense. Okay, Exhibit 9 is better than Exhibit 10, so it's a good chance for him. But
Oh, okay.
I don't know the specifics, but I think there's like a little bit more guarantee.
I mean, New Orleans still has DeJounte Murray recovering from an Achilles, which he tore against Celtics at the end of January, so he's not going to be ready for the season. It's going to be Jordan Poole, Jose Alvarado, Jeremiah Fears, who's built like me, might not quite be ready to be playing NBA big minutes. Then it's Springer, so maybe there's some opportunity there for him. I hope he does well. Big fan of his, obviously.
Yeah. RJ says some reboot history, 78-79 season. Okay, let's do this email the next pod.
Okay.
Just because sorry, I'm on a time crunch, or else we would. We can do this. Then we'll read the look back email on a pod where I'm actually sitting at my desk. Okay. Morning, folks. Smart spending. RJ says, morning, folks. I hope Jack is enjoying his vacay. Always nice seeing Bobby K sitting in with you, Sam. While I'm not a big proponent of saving billionaires' money, Brad Stevens is operating under the weight of tax penalties. He needs to spend wisely, or at the very least, not spend pointlessly. Every roster spot is a precious asset, and people who get him have to either have immediately value to the Celtics, or people who get them have to have immediate value to the Celtics or the realistic promise of future value. Truthfully, that should be the mindset. Without a tax burden, but the margin of error decreases as costs go up. To that end, what is the realistic upside for the Celtics holding on to Xavier Tillman Sr.? Seems like a swell human. Everyone speaks glowingly of him, but if his on-court contributions are in the past, the team should wish him well and get him off the roster. And apart from monetary savings, Celtics are so thin with bigs, they can't afford to carry someone with no reasonable likelihood of contributing on the court. No one offered any reporting on Tillman recovery, or have I missed that? Be well, RJ, who from all reports still thinks JD had more future upside than Xavier. Yes, Xavier's contract is guaranteed, though, and I don't think JD's was. On top of that, I don't know. Maybe he's healthy again. Maybe he's not. If he is healthy, I guess it's cool. I mean, at the very least, everyone loves him on the team. I don't know. We'll see. I don't really know. I assume Xavier Tillman will be on the team just because, like, whatever. But I suppose there's something to the evil you know versus the evil you don't know. We want to be cynical about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Tillman has much of a future here, but I mean, Celtics center rotation, pretty bare. This could be the Tillman redemption season. I think, like, just money aside, thinking about your like point about JD and Tillman, RJ, that's probably part of the reason why Tillman's still here. It's like, well, we don't have bodies at center and we need help. And if we want to talk about opportunity, it might be there for him to kind of show he's got something left in the tank. He did have knee surgery before last season, and there's a chance that he just never really got back up to speed. And then, I mean, that was one takeaway I think we all had from watching him, is he just kind of looked out of sorts, like maybe a little winded, didn't have quite the athleticism he needed to have. And like in season, it's probably not that easy to get into shape or back up to speed. And so maybe after a summer of recovery and being ready and training properly, he's able to contribute this year, especially considering it's Nini, Luka Garza, and him. That's like the thing that I think makes him somewhat worth keeping around. Not to say I wouldn't rather have, like, I don't know, plug whoever you'd like.
Also, the Celtics have to have at least 14 players on the roster, so it is cheaper just to keep him than waive him and sign somebody else. Like, unfortunately, so. But we can call it there. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Sorry for the shorter pods. We'll be back to normal next week, I believe. And I'll let Sam take it out.
Hey, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell. We're here every single day. We're pumping out content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. As Jack mentioned, they will be back to full pods next time. We're doing game recaps in season the morning after each game, and other videos on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are there. So if you just want the audio versions, follow us. They'll go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. It does help us in the algorithm, help us reach more people. Tell your friends. Email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Big shout out to RJ and Isaac, who were part of the email list today. This is the best time of year for emails, so get them in, hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jackson NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.